So I was finally able to watch Turning Red on Disney Plus and The Atom Project on Netflix, and I'm going to be doing a quick non-spoiler review for this. I'm not going to go into any details and spoilers. I'm just going to give you my quick reviews, my thoughts on these movies because they came out this weekend, and you're probably wondering why don't I just do separate videos on them? That's because, why not give you a two-in-one? Because I know this weekend that's the two movies coming out this weekend. It's like, two-in-one, two-in-one. I'll probably do that anytime there's like two movies coming out a weekend. But anyways, let's go to Turning Red. Now, Turning Red is actually a movie that I didn't even watch the trailers for. I just heard of the commercials. I only heard of the movie itself. I eventually came around to watch it because it is a Pixar film. Now, this movie should have been theatrical only, but the morons on Disney are a little cuckoo. But anyways, the movie itself, I really enjoyed this movie. I like this movie more. I ended up watching it just because I had some time off and I was like, hey, you know what? Why not? Why not? Let's vibe with it. Let's check it out. Let's see what the hype is about. And it was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. It's a beautiful story about a young girl growing up. She's 13, so that's around the time kids grow up, and she's dealing with the fact that her mom wants her to be this perfect angel, but she's getting older and she wants more independence. She wants to grow up. She wants to do things that she was never allowed to do. And the movie, I believe she's an Asian woman, so they show a lot of Asian culture in it, specifically in Canada. I've never been to Canada, so I don't know much about Canada. So it was nice to see the diversity. You saw a Muslim guy. You saw white people in it. You saw, of course, Asian culture in it a lot. It was the animation was done really well. The story of it, I really liked the mother-daughter dynamic. If you guys have been on the channel for a while, you guys know a soft spot movie I have is those movies about fatherhood, a father and a son. Those kinds of stories always hit me emotionally. So to see it done with a mother and a daughter hits me too. It's basically a story about growing up and how you have so many emotions when you're so young because you don't know about the world. You don't know what life is. And you just want to grow up. You just want to be an adult. You want to be able to get independence. And I love that Turning Red took this with a metaphor of that giant red fur monster. The animation was great. It was actually pretty funny. It was pretty solid. The only negatives I have is there's this one song they play in the movie a lot that is a little frustrating. I don't like the song, but to be fair, that's because she's a young girl, so she would like that kind of music, so it makes sense. I personally am just not into that kind of music. One thing I will find surprising, now no spoilers, but the ending, there's this giant big deal. It's kind of like an Avengers level threat in the ending of the movie that I was surprised by. Now, to be fair, I didn't watch the trailer, so I didn't even know what they were going to go through. But that ending did surprise me. But overall, it was a great movie. I recommend this if you have a kid. Maybe your kids want to watch a brand new movie and you have some time off. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes, so it's not that long. Actually, I think it's a little shorter probably. But it's around that time, so it's not too long. But yeah, it's a great watch. Even if you're a parent, I'm sure you're going to like this because it's a story about parents. It's a story about a daughter wanting to finally feel like an adult for once in her life. And I really like that. I like that. I like the dynamics between the mother and daughter. I like the dynamics between not only those two, but the mother herself with the grandmother, of course, mother-daughter too. So there's other balances. I love that story. I really like how the dad is played in this movie. He wants to be good, but, he's not very vocal. He's very quiet about it. And I like that. I like it, everything. There are certain moments in the movie that feel like they're going way over the top, but I know there's some controversy. A lot of people are saying that this movie is too explicit for kids, but it really isn't. It's just a movie. I mean, look, this isn't a spoiler. They do bring up periods. Look, when you're around that age, you're going to have that. I'm, of course, not giving advice at all, but it makes sense that in a kid's movie about a kid growing up, they reference that. And really, that's what the movie is about. It's about growing up. But anyways, I really like Turning Red. I recommend it to any parent out there who wants to watch a movie with their kid, or if you just want to watch it alone, great. I watched it and I thought it was pretty good. It's decent. It's not like the greatest Pixar movie ever, but that's such a high bar. But it's a pretty solid movie. I had a lot of fun with it. It's not a movie I can rewatch really, but it was a fun movie. It did what it needed to do. Now, the next movie is Netflix's Atom Project. Now, the only reason why I was excited for this is because they had Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds. I also like Zoe Saldana. I like the cast they had. I did like the idea of the movie about, a guy meeting his past self, his kid version of himself. And that's all interesting. I didn't even know that Sean Levy directed Free Guy, so that probably would have hyped me up even more prior to watching this movie. And especially now that we know he's directing Deadpool 3, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to see. But this movie itself, I wasn't all that too excited because it's a Netflix movie, and Netflix movies tend to disappoint me. Like, for example, I didn't really like Red Notice. Red Notice was this big marketable thing on Netflix, and it ended up becoming a average. It seemed like a cop out of what it wanted it to be. But overall, the Adam Project was a solid movie. It was a decent movie. It does get emotional at times, kind of like Turning Red. And in this movie, it's, of course, he's seeing his past self. Now, I gotta say this: the kid took over the spot. Like, the kid was the main attraction in this movie, and I love Ryan Reynolds, but that kid, I don't even know who he is. I don't even know if he's acted prior to this, but the kid knew what he was doing. The kid knew. He perfectly portrayed a young Ryan Reynolds, and I love that. But it does get emotional. It does hit the beats. It's a nice little film. What the only criticism I have about this movie was that some of the time travel aspects were. It's like it's kind of like when they were making this movie, they forgot about the reason as to why they time travel until like halfway through the movie. They're like, oh, we need a reasoning. Okay, here's the reason. That's kind of what it felt like, and that was a little frustrating. But overall, I liked the movie. I thought it was a solid movie. I thought it was a great movie. Now, it's not a movie. These two movies, Turning Red and The Adam Project, aren't rewatchable movies, but they were solid for what they were. I had a lot of fun with both of them. I liked them each individually. I would say Turning Red to me is a better movie. But The Adam Project is definitely solid. I love Ryan Reynolds, so to see him back, I like it. I do recommend it if you're a big Ryan Reynolds fan, because you are going to get that Ryan Reynolds love that everyone loves at this point. So if you're a big Ryan Reynolds fan, man, you're living in heaven. But anyways, that's going to be it for my two quick reviews. I thought they were both solid. I think they're both great watches, and I hope you guys let me know in the comment sections down below. What do you think? Have you seen the movie? Have you not? Whatever it is, please let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.